Hi again, guys. So obviously I have recently moved on from my Drocon U31W, which I did a review for a couple of weeks ago. Now, the purpose of me buying that drone was really to work out whether or not droning was something that would interest me. Subsequently, I have purchased the DJI Phantom 3 Professional, and this is my first video, my first flight using the DJI Phantom 3 Pro. Now, the video here lasts for about 12 minutes, but I won't talk over the entire 12 minutes. Just really want to give you my thoughts and my opinions on the DJI Phantom 3 Pro. Firstly, I should say that this is an amazing drone. I think after using the budget Drocon, there's just no comparison. This thing is just an absolute dream to fly. I paid about £400 for this second hand, which was pretty good. Most of the standard DJI 3 standard drones second hand are going for around £350 to £400, so I did well to pick up the Pro. Now, the differences between the Pro, the Advanced and the Standard, there's a few things. The Standard has a very basic remote control. The range isn't as good, and the way that the remote control connects to the drone is different as well, and the camera quality is also different. I believe the camera quality on the Standard is now, I think it's 2.7K. I think it used to be 1080. So good quality. The Pro that I have is a 4K camera. Now, this video here was filmed in 4K but edited down to 1080p for YouTube purposes. So the footage that you're seeing just now is, I guess, is not a true reflection of how good the quality this camera actually is. One of the reasons I decided to go for the Pro version rather than the Standard, because I think the Standard would probably be a good intro to the DJI drones, but the reason being is on the controller there is a return to home button. Now, you don't get that return to home button on the Standard version. As somebody who is relatively new to drones, I found, or I thought, that having that return to home button would be pretty essential, because the likelihood would be that I would not necessarily lose it, but have difficulties, particularly in the first few flights. Now, I will say with the Standard, there is a return to home function within the app. My preference, however, is not to be playing around with the app during the flight. I prefer just using the controller, and with the return to home function, it really is just a simple double tap on the button and your drone will return to exactly where it took off from. The GPS on this drone is nothing short of amazing. It returns to pretty much within a couple of feet of the spot which it took off from. One of the settings within this as well is when you set up your drone to return to home, you set up things such as how high you want it to go when it does return to home. My recommendation for that would be to set it to around 75 feet or 100. Reason being is you want to make sure that you avoid, I guess, hitting anything on the way back. If you don't have visible line of your drone, then better to be safe than sorry. Now, you'll see from this video, I'm roughly about 1,000 meters away from the drone at this point, and I don't have clear visibility of the drone. I'm controlling this from using the stream that's coming through the controller and my phone. So yeah, I got as far as about 1,000 meters away, and I'm about 400 or just under 400 up in the air, which is the maximum you can go by law. The drone will let you go higher, however, just please be aware that the aviation laws mean that you're not really meant to go beyond 400 meters. One thing you'll notice about the camera shots here is how smooth the footage actually is. I filmed this on, I wouldn't say it was a windy day, but there was a certainly a good breeze. And you wouldn't think so. The footage is just amazingly smooth. That's one of the things I love about this drone. The gimbal in which the camera's attached to is just amazing. It's yeah, it's almost kind of film quality. I love it. So again here, I'm kind of taking the drone away. I'm basically standing in the park filming this. And again, at this point, the drone is out of sight. Basically, once I got the drone up to about 400 meters in the air, it became very difficult to view. So once you take it away from you as well, it's impossible. So yeah, I'm controlling this by looking at the footage that's coming in on my phone. The remote control is amazing as well. This really is, despite the fact it's called the Pro, this really is an amazing drone to start flying with. It's really easy. Yeah, I'd say even in comparison to the basic Drocon that I did a review of a couple of weeks ago, this is much easier. The control is so smooth. At no point did I fear I was going to lose control of the drone. And at no point did I fear I was going to lose the drone, which is pretty amazing considering how far away I flew this. So again, at this point, I'm probably about, I don't know, about 700 meters away from the drone. As you can see, you can control the camera as well, which is amazing. The footage is fantastic. Like I said, this downsizing it to 1080 doesn't really do any sort of justice. What I will say about this particular drone is, or about, I think really about the DJI drones in general, is I would highly recommend that you have a decent computer or laptop to do any sort of editing. I got this drone with the intention of doing most of my editing on my mobile phone, because it's what I find easiest. Now I have a Samsung S8 Plus, and I've found editing on this really difficult. It doesn't seem to like the format of the files which this records in, so I've had to do a little bit of playing around and converting to the correct formats for this to actually work. So just be aware of that if you do decide to get this drone. I would recommend editing on a laptop rather than on your phone. It also only lets you record videos of a certain length as well, so you have to combine the videos at the end once you've done that. Now, as I said, I'm pretty much a novice when it comes down to droning, and even when it comes down to cameras. So you'll notice that the sky in this particular video is pretty bright. I think I need to do a little bit of playing around with the settings to get the right exposure for this particular flight. I have several lenses which I got with the drone, so I'll probably play about with them. Yeah, you'll see at this point I pressed the go home button, and this is the landing process. You'll see how high up the drone is first of all, but it takes a little bit of time to to slowly come back down. Yeah, so like I said, fantastic drone, highly recommend. You can probably pick one of these up second-hand on the likes of Gumtree or eBay for, I'd say, for anything between kind of £400 and £600. You can get the standard version for anywhere between 3 and 4. However, like I said, it doesn't have quite the range. The remote control is not as well built. It doesn't have all the same functions that the Pro version has, and the camera's not as good either. But I think if you're looking to start droning, the standard version would be more than adequate. And you can do everything within the app that you can do on the Pro controller anyway. So that's it for me for another review. I will leave the commentary here while the video continues, and any questions, please ask below. And yeah, there'll be lots more videos coming soon, some phones and some other cool tech as well. So click subscribe, and I'll chat to everyone soon.